So how much is he to blame for last night's loss?
None, because you have to realize that, I mean, obviously they lost the game, and I don't really know what else Giannis can do. He's playing without his second-best player, who's three-time All-Star in Chris Middleton, and Holiday has been terrible. I mean, I wish I can say it in a nicer way, but Drew Holiday has been awful. He shot 7 of 20 in the first game. He was 5 of 22 last night. He was 11 of 30. So for the series, he's shooting 23 of 72. I don't know what percent that is. My math is not that good. But I can assure you that's bad. Because if he was shooting 23 or 46, that would be 50%. So, but he's missed 20 more shots than that. Actually, he's missed 26 more shots than that. So he's been bad, Skip. And Giannis, it's basically, this is a two-man. It's like Giannis go one-on-one, try to get to the rim. He either finish at the rim or he tries to kick. Holiday goes one-on-one, tries to get to the rim or kicks. That's it. Everybody else is just standing around, and they're going to have to go. They're going to have to trust some of these other guys to make shots. You're going to have to trust Cottington. You're going to have to play Bobby. I don't know, all of a sudden, you don't want to play Bobby Portis. What the hell is that, for 15 minutes?
I don't know.
I mean, basically, Skip, Giannis, it is so hard, and this is why and I hate that it's happening, but in a way, I'm glad. Because you see how much energy it takes out of you to drive the basketball? Because that's Giannis's game. Giannis is drive the ball, lay it up, dunk it on you. It takes a lot out of a man. What you think is harder, running the ball 30 times a game or throwing the ball 30 times a game? Giannis is a running back because he's trying to get downhill, Skip. He's not getting any easy shots. He doesn't really have a mid-range. Yeah, he can make an occasional mid-range. He's been awful from the three. If I'm not mistaken, he's 2 of 12 from the three. So there's nothing coming easy to him like a Kevin Durant or like a DeRozan that has a mid-range game. So it is so hard, and he's breathing. It's taking so much out of him because they're doing a great job of setting up the wall, Skip. He shot over 50% in the regular season. He's down to around 43.5%, 44% in this series. They've done a great job of building the wall. And when he beats one, for the most part, they're smart looking to draw a charge. Or there's Al Horford. Robert Williams didn't play last night. Ty's got a little minute. But you got Tatum tugging at the ball. You got Jaylen Brown tugging at the ball. They've done a great job, Skip. What Phoenix didn't do of building the wall.
That's a fact.
Making Giannis exert a lot of effort. Mm-hmm. But with no Middleton, Skip, I can focus all my attention on Holiday. And we just saw the Brooklyn series. I don't care if you got the best player. You're not beating that team. And, Skip, I want somebody to show me. Now, I'm going to need somebody to pull some tape. Al Horford's been in the league, 12, 14, 15 years. I need somebody to show me two games in which he's played in his career that was better than the game that he played last night and Saturday. I want to see those 2 games in which Al Horford, back-to-back, has played like that. Skip, he was sensational in the fourth quarter. Hell, in the fourth quarter, he was the best player on the court. And then Jason Tatum. How long did you think you were going to be able to hold him down? And Skip, you know he's a guy. Once he gets it going, he see 1 or 2 go in, now he's going to pull up from 25 on you. Now he's going to drive the ball. Skip, I knew it was over, but I think it was about 2 minutes. The dude was parallel to the floor. He throws it up and he goes, I said, well, that's it. I don't need to watch anymore. They're not losing this game. So Giannis can only do so much. Giannis is the best player on the court. But to me, without Middleton, the Celtics have the best team. And they were sensational. You got 2 guys gave you 30, and your backcourt gave you 36 between the two of them, Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. So for me, Skip, unless they get Grayson Allen comes along for a ride, Skip, Holiday, bruh, if you don't play better, you about to be on a holiday. Holiday about to be on a holiday if he doesn't play better than what he's played these first 3 games. I know they won 2 of it, but before. I know they won 2, Skip, but Holiday's been terrible. Good and terrible.
You finished?
Yes.
I'm about to unleash on the quote-unquote best player on
Go
the
ahead.
planet. On the 1 to 10 scale of blame for last night's loss, I'm going to an 8 for Giannis, only because day after day after day after day after day, I have to sit over here and hear you say he's the best player on the planet.
Is.
I don't agree. I don't see it. I don't believe it. And the last 2 fourth quarters are proof positive he is not the best player. You say, who is? Well, Kevin Durant was until this same Boston team knocked him right off that throne onto his backside. And I think that Joel Embiid has an opportunity tonight in Miami to make a statement. I am now back to being the best player on the planet. I think Embiid is better than Jokic, who just won back-to-back MVPs, and I definitely think he's better than Giannis because he strikes more fear than either of those guys.
I disagree.
He's got more cold-blooded killer in him than either of those two guys. Al is a very spiritual man, and I don't think he curses at all.
I don't think so, but she said that's where you effed up at. Well, I've seen that look before.
Okay, well, I'm sure she has. I love that. Okay. You realize this is Al Horford, as even keel a basketball player as there is on this planet.
Yes.
He's played in 132 playoff games, so he's far more seasoned than anybody on the Celtics roster, because next down the list is Marcus Smart at 74. So it's 132 playoff games to 74, and then it goes down, down, down.
Right.
So this is still a very young playoff basketball team, except for him, and they got him back in the Kemba Walker deal. Kemba went to Oklahoma City and Al returned to Boston.
Right.
And that was a sweet deal for Boston because they needed his veteran calmness and presence. But for once, he got very emotional because he did not like that because he doesn't play that.
Right.
And he's not going to let Giannis give him that because I don't think he views Giannis as a really tough guy. There's some fake toughness.
Well, you see here Jaylen Brown got into it.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown said, get your head off my...
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there because that's why Giannis is factoring into my blame scale here. Okay.
Oh, he got him going.
Okay, so how did Horford respond after you just saw what he said after the game? Here we go. The door just got slung wide open, and guess who ran through the open door? Jason Tatum did, then Jaylen Brown did, then Marcus Smart did, and they're all making shots out of their you-know-what, right? Because they were. Because Al Horford set the tone. He changed the series with the dunk and the three. Right. And I will always remember this game as the Al Horford game because it just was.
I think everybody's going to remember. But Skip, we talked about this last week. Remember Phoenix playing the Pelicans? I said, Skip, they missed 3 shots. Well, Boston say, you never seen anything like that? Watch us. They missed 3 shots the entire fourth quarter. You're not losing, Skip. You're not losing the game. They scored 43 and missed 3 shots.
43?
And it's not like Milwaukee is a slouch defensive team. They got 3 guys that will challenge you at the rim with Giannis, Lopez, and Portis. They got a tremendous on-ball defender in Holiday.
I agree.
And they went and got 43.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so now you brought this up. Let's go to 127 left, and let's see what Jaylen Brown did after Giannis hard fouled him.
I think he thought he shoved him.
Yeah, and he goes out of bounds.
He said, "Don't."
And here we go. And Giannis says, hey, that's okay. And he tries to put an arm around him, and he just slaps it off. Don't do that to me.
That's what my granddaddy do. The dad grab a kid by the back of his neck and be squeezing. But get your hands off me.
Get your hands off me. Right. And I love that because that shows you this Celtics team. I've told you again and again, Ime Udoka instilled a backbone in this team.
Yeah, they built different.
Defensive toughness, just a general toughness. That Brad Stevens is a really nice guy, and he's a really good basketball coach as far as X's and O's go.
Udoka is what they needed.
Hey, that's what they needed. It's night and day. All of a sudden, you got a chip off the Popovich block who brought a toughness to the Spurs, those glory teams, the championship, the dynastic Spurs, and he has now instilled and installed it in Boston. And you saw it right before your very eyes. And then we've got the Giannis play down the stretch where he got tangled up with Marcus Smart. I think you alluded to it. And in the end, they got so tangled up, Marcus Smart actually tried to help him up. And Giannis took his hand for a second. He couldn't get up. You know why? He has hit the wall. They build a wall, and he has hit it, and he's just flat out in the fourth quarters. He is running out of gas. And at one point, he had to take a whole minute off, which was crucial down the stretch of a very tight game, because we used to see last year, he hyperventilates. He gets so into it that he can't control his breathing anymore, and he has to just go sit down for a second and regain control of himself, right?
Skip, when you look at, you see why Giannis is tired. They shot 84% from the floor, 80% from the 3, 100% from the free throw line, and they had 1 turnover. So I don't care how great you are defensively. Your legs can't move faster than they can swing the ball. Now, Al Horford did get a couple of open looks. But other than that, Skip, they just hit tough shots. Jason Tatum was pulling up in people's face. Marcus Smart was pulling up in guys' face.
Well, you're just playing bully ball.
Skip, at that point in time, you just coach.
Okay.
I'm looking at Bud like, Coach, what you want me to do? You see what this man is? This man 30 feet out.
Shannon, it happened in back-to-back fourth quarters in Milwaukee's house. The first one was on Saturday, and they couldn't quite close the deal because Horford had the tip in that was just a split second late.
Right.
But remember, they got 3 tips off the Marcus Smart missed free throw to win the game. The final score of the fourth quarter on Saturday was 34-23 Boston. The final score of the fourth quarter last night was 43-28 Boston. Boston scored 43 in the fourth quarter. So if I add those numbers up, that means Boston won the 2 fourth quarters in Milwaukee, 77-51.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a wipeout.
Yes.
That has something to do with the best player on the planet not being able to rise up and say, not in my house.
Well, Skip, normally with the guy, you try to pace yourself. But he can't pace himself because there's no Middleton. Holiday is playing really, really bad. So there is no pacing. He's like, I've got to go all out or we're going to be down 20. And he has to play, Skip. He's playing both ends of the court. You look at him, what he's averaging, 33 and 13 and 8. 33, 13 and 8. Mm-hmm. And he's playing damn near 40 minutes. He can only do so much without Middleton. These other guys, he's going to have to play Bobby Portis. Now, I don't know what Bobby Portis is saying, but he's going to have to play Bobby Portis some minutes because Bobby Portis can give you some buckets. He can give you some size. He can give you some rebounding. These are, I understand that, and he shortened his bench even more.
That's what happens as your throat tightens and the playoffs get deeper and deeper. Shannon Sharpe, what did I tell you all last year's playoff run? The closer for the Bucks is Chris Middleton. He was the one who hit the game-winning shot in Game 7 at Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Chris Middleton.
Yes.
Giannis made one early in the overtime, but Chris Middleton made the closing shot. The point was, it's hard for me to go best player on the planet. Obviously, I see the just surreal talent that he has. What do we call him? 6'11"?
Yeah.
Long, strong.
Yes.
Incredibly athletic. He has gained some confidence in his shots, but now I'm starting to look
he got
at
the yips at the free throw line again.
Okay, well, he's 2 for 16. You said 2 for 12. He's 2 for 16 from 3. 2 for 16, that's 13%. And all of a sudden, the free throw demons are starting to eat away. And I would really, if I were you, worry about him at Boston because they're going to start counting his dribbles again if he so desires to dribble.
But you know what, Skip? What you have to be impressed with? He still will put his head down and I'm going to the basket. I go right back to the free throw line. I might miss both of them. I might make one. Ain't no telling what's going to happen. Okay. But I'm going to put my head down and I'm going through the line.
Well, now the odds are that he might make 1 out of 2 because he's at 61%.
Yeah, and he shot, what, 70, 72, 73 in the regular season?
I think so, but he's 21 of 43 in this one. Yeah, he improved dramatically. And obviously against Phoenix last year in single coverage. And again, I congratulate Monty Williams for winning Coach of the Year because he richly deserved it. But in the finals, he was not the coach of the finals. He was the uncoach of the finals because that was the worst strategic plan I've ever seen in a finals. Remember when Chris Paul, after Game 4, saying, I guess we should build a wall maybe, right? Because everybody builds a wall except those guys. And we got DeAndre Ayton, who's not the toughest of
you ain't playing. Ain't nobody. You're not playing Giannis one-on-one.
No.
You better build a wall and keep him out.
Okay, they tried to play him one-on-one, and you saw the outcome. It was a disaster for Phoenix because they had, what did he shoot? 61% from the floor. From the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 4 games against Boston, he's at 44%, which is no good.
Yeah.
And last night, he was 14 of 32. Mm-hmm. Well, 32 shots, obviously, it's way too many shots for the good of the team unless you make 20 of them, and he made 14 of 32.
Exactly. So when you look at it, they had 94 shots, and he and Holiday had 54 of them.
Okay. So they missed Chris Middleton. I have no idea if Chris Middleton's going to be back.
I don't think he's coming back this series. If you I'd probably skip. He's probably not coming back next series either.
Okay. Well, then they are going to be in some trouble.
They're in trouble.
Okay, but you're sticking with your
I got to ride with them because I picked them already. If they'd have had Chris Middleton, I felt very comfortable this series be over in 6. I still believe it's going to go a long series, but go 7 games. But now it's a coin flip.
Okay.
It's a coin flip.
All right, but you remember, Game 7 would be
It'd be
in Boston.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah. Boston doesn't have to do anything else but just win at home.
they got to win at home.
That's all they
I
gotta do.
believe they will win at home
Yeah.
because I had Boston in 7, and I am sticking to
Yeah.
it.
Boston did what they came to do.
They
at
did.
least get one game and get it back to our home and home for us.
I thought last night for Boston was season turning
Yeah.
and saving because obviously if you go down 3-1, but 2-2 going home, you got a shot.
Skip, the thing that impressed me about Boston, I knew Boston was for real. When the Miami Heat and Philly and Milwaukee was resting, trying to avoid Brooklyn, they say, we want this. Marcus Smart say, well, if they're who they think they are and we are who we think we are,
Yep.
we're going to see them anyway,
That is correct.
sooner or later. So,
They did.
Skip, they got a mindset, don't care. Jump the ball.
And here we are.
Damn, I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble.
It's going to be a good
for
one,
admitting that.
guys. That Game 5
in
unfolding
trouble.
in Boston tomorrow night. And get this, Boston shot 84% in that final fourth quarter. That's the best percentage they've had in a playoff closing quarter since the 90s. They're hot.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.